Morning, everyone. It's Heidi Allen, founder of the Positive People Army. Happy Monday. Sorry, I got distracted. A whole bunch of stuff just came up on the live. I'm like, what is that? Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone had an incredible weekend. It was so amazing because last week the forecast kept saying that it was going to rain the entire weekend, and oh my, it did not. It was a phenomenal weekend. So I'm super excited that it's Monday. Today is a brand new video that we're doing. A lot of you know Creative Core founder Victoria Lorient-Fabish, and she has agreed to join me on Mondays for Ask Victoria. So Victoria is a holistic psychotherapist. She's a relationship counselor. She's a life coach. She's kind of one of the most amazing human beings that I know. And I just love her knowledge. I love her wisdom. I love her charm. Every single thing about her. She shares a lot of her own videos with the PPA, which I think is fantastic. But since we have this incredible human being that is a huge part of the PPA, I wanted to make sure that we could tap into all of her knowledge and answer any of your questions. I'm constantly sent messages with questions from so many different people. And of course, I do my best, but I don't have the incredible intellect that someone like Victoria has in this particular space. So I thought it would be great for us to talk with Victoria and start this Ask Victoria. So I've seen her come on. Hello, Victoria. I am going to have her join us right now to be asking, or actually answering, two questions. There she is. Hi, Victoria.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I love when technology goes well.
I know. Thank God, right? Honestly, it's amazing. We're in two different ends of the city right now here in Toronto, and yet we can talk to each other face to face like this, and everyone else can join us. So it's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Victoria, I was just letting everyone know exactly who you are, and I'm gonna let you give a little intro on yourself as well. Kind of like why this is important to you, why you're like, I really wanna be able to do this with the PPA. Oh my God, hey Mia, hi.
Hi, Mia.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm so glad you're
Hi,
here.
Mazar.
Hey Mazar. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
So
for joining
there were
me.
two questions. So
Yeah.
last week I sent a note out that we were going to be doing this Ask Victoria, and the PPA got back with two questions.
Right.
But before we get to those questions, Victoria, introduce yourself.
I will.
A lot of people know you, but go ahead.
So I'm Victoria Lorient-Fabish. I'm a registered psychotherapist. I'm a holistic psychotherapist. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. I love doing what I do. And people can basically, I've been doing this for over 20 years. In private practice and also working with people all over the world. People can find me at visualizationworks.com, and I've written a couple of books. I'm sure some of you have seen the books. The first one is called, Find Yourself Culture, Moving from Depression and Anxiety to Monumental Self-Acceptance. And the second one is, same color, my favorite color, Connecting, Rewire Your Relationship Culture. Because it's all about really, having a choice as to how you do relationships. You don't just have to do the same thing that you learned from the family over and over and over. Take responsibility. You can change your relationship culture by finding and keeping and guarding your self culture and really redoing a family culture. That's really my philosophy in all of this.
No, I completely agree with you, Victoria. And I think that's why, you and I have gotten along so well. And it's because, one, we have very, very similar backgrounds with our family, things that we've gone through, which is kind of hilarious. There's not enough time today to get into that.
No.
But it's like, and your take on things, your knowledge on expectations and boundaries and all of that, the family dynamics, that self-culture is absolutely fascinating and amazing. And I know for myself, everyone that's watching right now, you've helped me so much, to really kind of step back and see things for what they are. Everything you've taught me on expectations and boundaries, I am forever grateful for, because it's so important to have all of this in our life. Okay, so hey, Shelly, nice to see you.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, welcome for joining us. Okay, so we are going to get to these questions because they're very important.
Yeah.
So anyone that is sending a question in, just to let you know, I won't be saying names unless you say that you're fine with me saying your name. I'll only ever say your first name. These particular questions, we're just going to say anonymous. They're from the PPA. So if anything, they're for the entire PPA. Okay.
Right.
So the very first question, which I thought was really great.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of self-development, which is a lot of people in the PPA. There's a lot of us that are doing this. She says, reading great books, taking seminars, and I started yoga and meditation. My kids are getting older, and I wanted to do something for myself. Honestly, like how many times, Victoria, do we see that in the PPA? There are so many. And just to let you know, this was from a woman.
Okay.
There's so many women that they're all of a sudden their kids get older and it's like, I want to do something for myself. So then she says, however, my husband doesn't understand the changes in me.
Yeah.
And every time I try to include him in what I'm doing, he declines and says he doesn't need to change. How can I continue without putting a wedge between us? Oh my God, when I read, like I have goosebumps right now. I have goosebumps right now because I feel there are so many people in the PPA that can relate to this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not their husband. It could be their best friend. It could be, colleagues at work. It could be family. So this could be any situation. It doesn't have to be a husband. So Victoria, I'm now going to turn this over to you, lovely. And I'm going to let you inspire us with what is your answer to this, or your take, your inspiration you want to give us.
So it's something that is super common. Really close people start to develop and they start to have different interests. So let's just say a couple who's been together a long time and there's different interests. Okay. And one of the things that people are afraid in when they're pursuing their own sort of, I would call, life purpose, their own instinctive what they're drawn to is that they're afraid that the person that's in their life is going to sort of be left behind. Well, here's what I have to say. I mean, I really want people, as you're rewiring your relationship culture, you have to understand that change is an important piece of freedom. And freedom is an important piece of good relationships. So I really feel like, when people are defining their relationship cultures, people say, well, they can only do this if I do this. I see a lot of rules in my couples therapy when people are doing couples therapy. And I'm always going to throw a monkey wrench into that, because the truth of the matter is that a relationship without freedom is a relationship with problems. Okay.
Wow.
And I really want to say that it's not about cheating, but it's about allowing the other person to pursue their own instinctive drawings, their instinctive things that they're drawn to. And if we can't do that, you got to look at your own insecurity. If you're the one feeling jealous, if you're the one feeling number one, if there's jealousy and there's also fear of doing your own thing because you're going to lose the person, look at your own being, clean up your own being right here. And it's true. When we start to change our beliefs, when we start to change our ways of thinking, you know what often happens is people will either join us vibrationally or they'll kind of fall away for a time. But trust that, you have your own instinctive thing you need to keep moving towards. And the person in your life may fall away a bit, but trust that that's not the worst thing in the world either. Maybe there's a little space that needs to occur. Maybe there's a dialogue that needs to happen about, hey, what are we really into these days? We used to be into ballroom dancing. Now I'm into, the positive people army.
Exactly. No, exactly. Okay, so I want to go back for a minute, because there were two incredibly powerful and important things that you said there. And number one was, you said freedom.
Yeah.
That there needs to be freedom in a relationship. That freedom, I'm going to explore something. Like you said, not cheating. This isn't what we're talking about.
No.
But I'm going to explore this self-development. I'm going to do what I need to for my self-development, my inside, my passion, my love, whatever it is. I love that. Yeah. And then you said trust. Yeah. And that, I think, is the most powerful thing you said, because, this particular woman right now is going through this beautiful transformation herself. And she needs to just trust that her partner, he doesn't have to be where she is right now.
No.
And his self-development may come a year from now. It may come 2 years from now.
And
she needs to trust this development in herself and just let the relationship do what it does.
And timing for everyone is different.
Yes.
So, the timing for her may be a certain speed, and for him might be another speed. Who are we to know what's the correct speed?
Exactly.
Each person has their own, again, freedom loving,
Yes.
Each person has their own speed by which they evolve and they develop. And sometimes people take longer, and that's okay. But a relationship with freedom is a good relationship. And I really want to encourage, because it's the anti-codependency. It's like your self-esteem does not need to rise and fall based on the other person's, what they say or do or any of those things. You just do your own thing and keep sending love to the other person. Keep inviting them if they choose to. But really, it's got you. If you don't do that, guess what's going to happen? You'll resent them. You will resent them.
Yeah.
So there's no options. You got to follow your own being so that you don't live in resentment, and so that you create freedom, more freedom.
And you know what I think is also happening here? Like, I feel like this woman is getting so excited about everything that she's learning right now, and she's feeling so good about everything. So, I understand that she wants to share this with her partner. She wants for him to be involved, because she's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so much happier. I'm feeling so much more grateful. Things are happening. I want you to be a part of it. But I love that you said, leave the freedom, invite. But then if this person wishes, it's like, okay, send love to that person and continue with your journey. But yeah, it's so true. You get so excited about stuff, right?
And maybe the woman can say, hey, I'm not going to talk about my new endeavors all the time with my partner. I'm going to reserve time for the old ways that we hang out. Maybe not at the betrayal of you either. I mean, it's important that there's honoring of the self, but let's just honor the relationship culture that was there as well. Why it's a dual thing, while also inviting them along to the journey of development. But not everyone's going to do it at the same pace. That's for sure. And I cannot tell you how many relationships I have counseled and done therapy with that are in this exact scenario.
Yes.
In this scenario.
I have to tell you, Victoria, like I can relate to this woman, not in my relationship with my husband, because we're very much on that same path of self-development. But I have gone through this with friendships.
Right.
The more I, embraced the PPA and what this is, and the more I leaned into this, and the more I leaned into my vulnerability, and the more I leaned into, how I was feeling, I expressed it. There were some friends that are uncomfortable with this because they're not there in their self-development. So I understand what she's going through, and I wanted to bring that up because, this situation doesn't just happen with your husband or your wife.
Right.
Sometimes it does happen with other relationships.
Best friends.
Yes.
Coworkers.
Yes. 100%.
So many things. Many things.
And that's why, I've left space for people I'm here. I am always here. There was a few friends where, I've reached out and, sent them love or congratulations or whatever it is. And it's like, they've said, it's so nice to hear from you, Heidi. It's so nice. And I'm like, listen, I'm always here. I'm here for whenever you need me, but it's like I've given them space because I know they're struggling with, what I'm going through, and it's maybe making them a little uncomfortable, and I'm okay with that. Let's
not forget to mention the abandonment feeling that can show up. Let's not forget to mention that's an important feeling. The abandonment feeling. We have to and maybe the person who's moving forward. I know I have felt that. The person who's moving forward in friendships, not so much again in my relationship. I happen to have a relationship that's very freedom loving. I can, he does, I do, it's all good. But in friendships, there is a feeling when I start to develop, and many people that feel that kind of, ooh, I'm losing. But I'm losing, I'm feeling abandoned, but what I want to say here that I say often is nature abhors a void. Nature does not like a void. So just know that when you develop in the way that you feel instinctively you need to develop, whatever your self-development stuff, so there's going to be a bit of a void. And that
Mhm.
void, I'm going to tell you, will get filled. So
Oh
make sure
yeah.
you're clear intentionally about what you want to fill that void with. And if
Mhm.
and if you fill that void with just more of the same old stuff,
Mhm.
like just because you're afraid of development and growth, then you might want to really look at, are you clear on your intentions? And nobody is basically 100% clear on anything. Let me be clear.
Mhm.
Let's be kind and gentle with ourselves, but
Yes.
have the clarity. And I love an affirmation that I tell people is, as I take better and better care of myself and honor myself, everyone benefits. We say
Oh.
that in the office often. As I
Mhm.
take better and better care and I honor my true instinctive self, everyone benefits. To me, that's an amazing affirmation, because you know why?
Yeah.
You really want people to be cultivating a thinking process that when they're improving, people aren't resentful. People aren't
Mm.
looking at them going, why are you improving? Why are you? No, everyone benefits, including myself. We all benefit when I start to do the things that I choose and that are good for me.
Yeah. Okay, that was an
It's big.
incredible mantra. I
Yeah.
hope everyone, Victoria, I would love after we're finished this video,
Yep.
if you write that mantra in the comments. I think that is
Yes.
really, really important. So there's a lot of people that have just joined us right now.
Yes.
This is our brand new video, Ask Victoria. Victoria, Lori, and Fabish is with us. We're answering questions today. We had two really powerful questions. The very first question that we had was someone that is going through self-development, and their partner, their husband, is not on the same page, and she's worried that it's going to cause a wedge. So if you're just joining us, please, if that's something that you're going through with a partner, with a friend, with a family member, go back and listen to Victoria's incredible question. She talks about freedom in a relationship. She also talks about trust in the relationship, trust how this is going to develop. So definitely go back. So we're going to go on to our second question,
Yeah.
Victoria. This, again, such a great question.
It's huge.
PPA,
Yeah.
you're phenomenal with your questions. Okay. My sister and I were always close until she started seeing her new boyfriend. So here are two sisters that, super, super close, which I love. And then sometimes this happens. The boyfriend comes in. I feel he's too controlling and I'm not his biggest fan. And because of that, I'm the bad guy. So this is hard. How do I help her see he's not right for her so we can repair our relationship? Wow, I got to tell you, there's a whole bunch of like red flags that are like, woo.
But you
here.
know what
So
the first red
let's go
flag
through
is
this.
for me? When I
Yes.
heard that,
Yep.
obviously, again, super common in the office. I see, the family members involving themselves, or has become involved with someone that appears to be controlling. But I gotta say, the biggest red flag, I have to say, is
Yep.
the person writing the question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, because this is a journey your sister has to go on.
Yes.
This is a journey. I mean, we don't like all the journeys that our sisters, children, partners, friends need to go on. I mean, it's like we don't. We really, we sometimes don't like it. In fact, I can totally relate to this on so many levels. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I just want to get in there and give some unwanted advice.
Yes.
No.
There you go. Unwanted advice. There, right there.
I mean,
Yes.
who am I, frankly, to know better for someone else? People need to be on their own journey. Now, it's a different story if the sister says to the sister, hey, I'm with kind of a controlling boyfriend. What do you think I should do? Well, that's a whole other ball game.
She asked then for an opinion. This could also be a very different situation if this was an abusive relationship.
Well, that's okay.
And that's not what we're talking about here. I want to make sure we clarify that. That's not what we're talking about.
But I want us to also be very clear to not be, rose-colored glasses. Controlling relationships do sometimes become abusive. And so I would be watching as the sister, I would be advising the sister who's going, is watch for isolation behavior. Watch for that isolation behavior that's happening with the other sister. Watch for depression in the sister. Watch for anxiety. Watch for moodiness. If all that starts to, volatility, if all that starts to happen, there is then an impact on the sister relationship, Not just I feel sad that my sister's involved with someone who's controlling and I'm not as close with. No, more like this is disturbing. So I'm just going to say to the sister that you get to say you don't get to do unwanted advice unless you're observing the road toward abuse. And then I tell everybody the 3-time rule. 3-time rule. You say it once, you say it twice, you say it 3 times, you're out. You're done. So choose the 3 times you're going to say it.
Okay.
Don't just nag. Don't nag.
No, that's a good rule. But also I feel like for me, you know, because like the fact that she said, you know, he is with a controlling person, but what she's most concerned about here is like how do I get her to see he's not right? So one, she feels she's the authority on her sister's relationship, which we cannot be.
No.
And then she said so we can repair our relationship. So for me, that phrase right there, so we can repair our relationship, she's mourning. She is mourning the loss of her relationship right now because you know what? Yes, when another person comes in and she's of course wanting to spend time with this person that you know she could be in love with, you're not going to spend as much time. So like I don't know about you, but I feel she needs to let her sister know that you know she is a little sad. I'm a little sad we don't spend as much time together.
Yeah.
That's not to say that the other sister should feel guilty about that because she should have her own life and her own relationships. But I think, you know, maybe instead of sending this to us, she should be, you know, saying, hey, listen, I kind of miss us. You know, is there a way we could at least once a week get together? Is there a way that we can schedule stuff so I don't miss you so much?
I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying, Heidi, because what you're presenting is a concept called having a vulnerable request. You know, you're not saying, you know, this, and it's like, it's a vulnerable request. I miss us. You know, can we make sure that we plan, you know, once a week or once every couple of weeks so we don't lose ourselves? And I want to give you the chance to do whatever you need to do, but I miss us. So it's a vulnerable, it's a gentle, it's a loving way to say, hey, let's not forget us. Love it.
Yeah.
I think there's a dual part to this. I think on the one hand, it's, you know, we are not experts on what other people are doing. You know, they've got to do their own thing. And B, we're allowed to have vulnerable requests. And also we can kind of observe, is this going down kind of an abusive road? And be discerning, be very discerning, not judgmental about what you're observing, and check yourself and go, oh, am I just, you know, having some real problems here? So share it with a journal, share it with a trusted friend, share it with a therapist, and then come to your relationship with a vulnerable, I love what you said, just like, hey, you know, little email, what's, you know, can we not forget us? I miss us. And then what you said was so right, which is grieving the loss of what you once had. Because guess what? The one sure thing, everyone, is change is gonna happen.
Yes,
change
definitely.
is gonna happen.
Always, and especially with sisters. And this question can not only be with sisters, it can be with friends,
Everybody.
It can be with children, you know, parents and a children dynamic.
That's
where
a
all
huge
of a
one.
sudden, you know, the children, they start to get older, they start to have more of a social life with their friends as opposed to hanging out with their parents. I know, like I have chatted about this very often when my eldest turned 13 and all of a sudden it was like his friends became more important than me, and it was such an adjustment. It was an adjustment because like every weekend we all spent together as a family, and all of a sudden the change occurred where he wanted to be more with his friends, which he should be. He's 13.
But you did good. You did good as a parent. You know?
I'm not saying that it was easy.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. That's very sweet of you. But yes, like you know, it was definitely a struggle of like, okay, it's like I have to let go here. But then I definitely had those conversations where it's like, hey, Michael, like I kind of miss that you're hanging out with the family. I get it. You want to hang out with your friends. So how about, you know, have your weekends with your friends. We're going to have, you know, family dinner night. We would do games night on like a Wednesday. So it
not on a Saturday when he wants to hang out with his friends.
Exactly. Because if I'm trying to force him to do that on a Saturday, he's going to resent me. And then I'm going to resent him for not having a good time. So it's like, it's always that, you know.
But I have to say, you really checked your own being. You checked your ego, you checked yourself, you know, because it's so easy to look outside of ourselves and go, oh yeah, they're with a controlling person, or oh yeah, they're, you know, and we're not looking, oh, but it's really me who's feeling abandoned, or me that needs to get on board with the change, or me. Look at yourself, observe yourself, be on the journey of self-analysis on a regular basis, because what you're putting out there, if it doesn't come off of you with an analyzed filter, in other words, you haven't looked at it with analysis, with a dispassionate, like, what am I thinking? What am I feeling here? If you haven't done that, you're just impulsively reacting to the other person.
Yes.
So be cautious with that. You know, this is, I call emotional discipline. Look within and go, what are you experiencing? And then do an assessment, discern, and then you can express yourself. And, you know, the hint, the tip that I think both Heidi and I are talking about is most vulnerable requests will be attended to.
100%. And I love that you said that, to do that kind of check in, and journaling is a perfect way to do that.
Yeah.
Because when you journal it, you can see it. You can go back and read it. And it's like you start to understand your own thoughts so much better.
Oh, it's massive.
It's powerful. It's so powerful. So
it's your own little psychotherapist.
Yeah.
It's your own little psychotherapist, you know, the journal.
100%. Yeah. So I love everything that you've said for this incredible question. We have a sister that wrote in. She was very, very close, her and her sister, and now a boyfriend's come in. She feels the boyfriend is controlling. So of course, your advice to that is definitely check in. You know, if this is an abusive sort of controlling, look for the signs, the depression, the isolation, the moodiness, all of that. And then you said,
but that's a rare thing usually. That's not as common. What really needs to happen at the outset is what you said and what I said, which is, you know, look at yourself, mourn the loss of what it was, and come at it from a vulnerable place.
Yes,
hey,
100%.
I kind of miss us. Can we make sure we hang out once or twice, you know, a month or whatever?
No, I completely agree.
And be okay with change. Be okay with change. That's so hard for people, I have to say.
100%. Seriously, it's one of the hardest things for us to do. On Halloween, October 31st, the video that I did, I said I'm going to talk about the scariest topic since it's Halloween, and that was change. Because it's one of the scariest topics for all of us. It on so many different levels, depending on what it is. So these were incredible questions. PPA, thank you so much for sending in your questions. We're going to be doing this again next Monday at 9:30 as well. So message me your questions. Victoria, I send them to her ahead of time. We'll be doing 2 questions each week, so definitely send it in. So I know we're just going to wrap it up now with our motivational tip, our motivational thought, because it is Motivational Monday. So Victoria, I would love to know, what is your motivational thought for today for the PPA?
Okay, so it's the affirmation. The more you take, here's the affirmation, write it down. The more I take care of myself and follow my own instinctive truth, the more I and everyone benefits. The more I take care of myself and follow my instinctive truth, the more I and everyone benefits. And to me, that has got to be a mantra for living.
I love it. That mantra, Victoria is going to share that mantra in the comments below so that everyone can have this mantra. I think that is an incredible motivation. My Motivational Monday tip today, I posted it this morning. Everyone, this week, make it your mission to make someone smile. Spread some kindness this week. The weather is incredible. Everyone's feeling fantastic. A lot of people are in their summer sundresses and they're feeling so good. So make someone smile today. Spread some kindness. Victoria, this was amazing.
It worked.
I loved everything about this. I know a lot of the PPA have really enjoyed what we've done. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your comments. Please send me your questions. We're doing 2 questions again next week. Victoria is a holistic psychotherapist, a speaker, a brilliant author, a life coach. How many other things do you do? And you just happen to have fabulous hair.
Thanks, honey. I appreciate it.
Okay, so listen, everyone, have a great day. For more information, you can check out Victoria's website as well. Share that website again, Victoria.
So visualizationworks.com. And
Mhm.
also, I'm also doing, courageous conversations. A lot of my lives are courageous conversations, and please tune into those. You can friend me, you can join a group, and I'm so pleased to be with the Positive People Army. I am passionate about the Positive People Army. I love you.
Yes,
Love
indeed. Love you too. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.